Hi and welcome to another video. A slightly challenging bike build video because it's currently -2 here at the moment despite the glorious sunshine, but it's definitely going to warm up, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. So this video, I'm not sure what to call it at the moment, whether to go with sexy superbike build, cheap bike to superbike, hill climb build even, possibly dream bike build because it is a bit of a dream bike for me. But one thing is for sure, this is going to be a bike with a purpose. I'm going to be building it up as a hill climb bicycle, and almost specifically to take on a rather saucy hill that I fancy challenging myself with. I'll tell you more about that later. So then, the bike in question is a Bianchi Intenso, and I'm going to be building this bicycle up with high-end Campagnolo for a budget of around £1,500, which I think still brings it in at a budget bike build. So yeah, possibly. What do you think? I'm going to go with that. So let's take a closer look at the bike and a closer look at the sexy bike parts that I'm going to be fitting on it. Okay then, with a project like this, the very most important thing we must do, I think, is to get the bicycle weighed. So let's get it on the scales, and I'm going to weigh the bike before and after, obviously, but I'm also going to weigh the individual bike parts to see where we're making a difference. And we got 8.73, 8.74, so not too bad. And yeah, let's now get the bicycle on the stand and we'll start stripping it down, the fun bit. Okay, so I've got the bike onto the stand, and before I start stripping it down, I think it's good just to give you a good overview of the bike as it is a standard and what we're going to be changing it out to. So let's go in, have a look at that. So then, here the crankset. Let's start with the crankset to start with. We've got an FSA crankset, which is a compact. It's a 50-34. I've noticed something rather interesting while I'm here. It's missing a chainring bolt. Good job I'm swapping that out, really. The group set as a whole is 10-speed Campagnolo, and on the rear we've got a 12-27, which is okay. It's not ideal for the Angleroo. I certainly don't fancy taking it on with that setup. The brakes here are just standard Reparto course brakes that come with the 10-speed Veloci group set, but I will be swapping those out for Campagnolo Chorus. Right, the wheels then. The wheels are Fulcrum Racing 7s. They're not bad wheels at all, and let me turn the camera around. Slight disclaimer here, because I'm actually going to fit the wheels from my other bicycle, but it's not a complete and utter cheat, because I do actually have a spare front wheel for Fulcrum Racing 5, which are the wheels I'm swapping it to. I've got a spare one in storage in Sardinia, and I've just managed to buy one second hand on eBay as well. So both of my bikes are going to be running Fulcrum Racing 5 wheels, which is really nice because they're fantastic wheels. The ones that are going on here are already fitted with specialised turbo cotton tyres and TPU inner tube, so they're mega light. All I've got to do is swap out the cassette for the larger one that I want. But yeah, it's not a complete cheat. I've actually got a set for both bikes. Right, let's get back to the bicycle. Right, the seat and the seat post, I presume these are standard. I don't really know, but I'm very excited about this because I got a Deda Leggero carbon fibre seat post to replace this one, and I've got a Cellitalia SLR Boost saddle in carbon to go on here, so I reckon there's going to be a substantial weight saving there. And the stem, I can't speak. The stem, I have actually already swapped this out because it was even shorter when I bought the bike, and it was too short for me, but I'm going to swap this again. I'm going to change this one for a 120, a Deda stem, because 120 is a better size for me on the 53cm frame. And the final thing worth pointing out is it's got these funny little brake levers on it. They're kind of cool. The previous owner fitted these. Both brakes do actually work. You can see them all moving. The cable actually runs through this one. It's quite a clever design, but I'm going to be swapping those out as one of the first things to go. And yeah, that's pretty much the bicycle. And we're going to be swapping all of this now for a Campagnolo Chorus 11-speed. So I'm going to crack on and start stripping things down. So I mentioned earlier that I was building this bike with a purpose, and that purpose is to take on the mighty Angleroo, the famous mountain in Spain that's once described as one of the most feared climbs in the pro peloton. It's got sustained gradients of up to 25%, so it's a bit of a beast. And my other bicycle is fitted with 10-speed Campagnolo record, and it recommends no larger than a 29 tough rear sprocket on the cassette, and I wanted to go for a 32, and yeah, I didn't want to change the gear set out on that bike, so I'm building this bike, and this one's going to have a 32 tough rear sprocket, which is absolutely fine. So yeah, I want to give myself obviously the best chance I got of getting up this hill, because you know, I'm not a pro cyclist, I'm an amateur, I'm old. So yeah, I'm going to be fitting this with a compact on the front and a 32 tough on the end on the rear sprocket, and hopefully that's going to help to get me up this fearsome mountain. But I can't wait, it's going to be absolutely stunning. Okay, so I got most of the stuff stripped out. It's time now to open the toy box. Let's go see what we got. Oh, I like this part. Oh, goodies, goodies. Let's get them out and we'll look up closer. Okay then, so let's take a little look at the campy stuff that I got first of all. So in here, we got the Campagnolo chorus brakes. These are very, very nice. In here we got the front derailleur. So I pull that out, we can see the front derailleur. To go with this is a braze-on derailleur. My frame's not braze-on, so I had to buy a campy clamp as well, so we can put the derailleur on. In here, this is gorgeous, this is. We got the Campagnolo chorus 11-speed rear derailleur. I mean, this is so light, I can't wait to compare it to the other one on the bike at the moment. And then in here I've gone for a Centaur rear cassette because it gives me the range that I want. So let's get all these out and we'll weigh them up and compare them to the parts on the original bike. Okay, let's do the front brakes first then. Let's get this on. Yeah, that looks okay. And there's the front brakes. 296, not too bad. New brakes. 297, slightly heavier, but I think they will actually have a better actuation, you know, a better power output, so that's not too bad. I can live with that. Right, let's go for the derailleur. First, the old front derailleur, 114 grams. Okay, and then the new one is 76 grams, but I think it's only fair that we weigh the clamp as well, because that's all part of it. So 110, there we go. There's a little bit of a save in there then. Can live with that. Right, the exciting bit for me at least anyway. Let's get the rear derailleur on there. This is the old 10-speed Veloci, 228 grams. And then the new one, 192 grams. That's pretty good. I thought it was going to be lighter than that. It certainly feels lighter. Okay then, so obviously I need to get the cassette out. Worth talking about these skewers while we're here, because I can't remember off the top of my head, but they're considerably lighter than the standard fulcrum ones. These are actually titanium screwers. These are titanium skewers. I'll get these on the scales in a moment and show you, because they are really, really light. Okay, so let's talk about these skewers then. These are the titanium ones, 54 grams. And then in here, we got 129 grams. So that's quite a considerable saving, really. And these, I'm not joking, they're about 12 quid. It's fantastic. Okay then, so slightly more exciting time for me. I'm just going to do these together. So 0 grams. So the old, oh bloody hell, the old seat and the post, 636 grams. Bloody hell, that's massive. 636. Okay, so we got the Superleggero seat post and saddle. 287. Bloody hell, 287. That's quite a saving, that is, guys. I'm going to put this back on just to clarify what I just saw. 287. 634. Wow, it's over 300 grams saved there. That's monumental, that is. It's brilliant. It's going to be a hill climb bike for sure. Okay, so let's do the pedals next. These are titanium pedals from Henri, and I've already used these. I've weighed them. I got them on my other bike, so I actually know they're a bloody big saving already. But let's get them on for you guys. Was that zeroed? Let me check. Yep. So we get them on 203 grams, which is super light, and we'll put the old ones on. 331. So these for about 40 quid are absolutely fantastic bargain. Okay, let's do the crankset next then. So we got that zeroed, so let's pop the old cranks on. And we've got 891 grams. It's quite heavy. And then these new ones, this is from a company called Rero. I actually learnt about this on Trace Velo watching their channel, and I know these are really light. So let's get the arms on. And then this beautiful looking chain ring. And what's that? 580 grams. So again, rather substantial saving. And these are cool, these are carbon, so yeah, hopefully they're going to work really well. They actually seem to have exactly the same system as the other crankset that I took off. Okay, so I think there's just one more comparison we need to make, and that's the difference in weight between the wheels and the tyres. And I'm just going to leave the standard tyres that were on the standard wheels, and I'm going to leave the tyres and tubes that I've got on the Fulcrum Racing 5s at the moment, because it's a fair comparison, because that's what I'm swapping anyway. So let's get on and weigh those. Okay, so first off we got the Fulcrum Racing 5s, and these come in at 2.6 kilos. There we go. That's not too bad. Let's get the other ones on and see what they come in at. Okay, so I got the Fulcrum Racing 7s on with the skewers and the tyres, and they're coming in at 2.98. So a bit surprised at that. I thought they'd be a little bit heavier, but it's okay. It's not bad. It's still about 300 gram saving. We'll take it. Going to give her a little spruce up, not too fussy, but a little bit with some of this Auto Gleam Super Resin polish. Maybe before I get this clean, give that a little clean. Okay, so just had a bit of bad luck and a bit of good luck at exactly the same time. I went to put the crankset on, and basically the spindle was just too big for the hole in the bottom bracket. But luckily, amazingly, I actually had a brand new bottom bracket kicking around in the back of my van. And yeah, we got away with that one. It just happened to fit perfectly. I wasn't too sure about the Italian thread thing either, because it's an Italian bike. It seems to be normal, but I don't know. It does fit anyway, and we got it on. So I'm just thinking it's seems a bit of a shame to go to all this trouble and not check the front bearings. Looking okay. Give this a clean up and a grease. That's okay, it's not too bad. Puts a bit of this on here just to try and stop any debris from the road getting up there. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so I haven't filmed much of the cabling because when I say cabling I actually mean fitting the inner sleeve in, because I've never done it before and I just wanted to concentrate, but I did manage to mess it up. And luckily, if you look down here, luckily Bianchi have installed what I'm going to call a bell end hatch for people like me who mess it up. So luckily that way I managed to get the sleeve through and I can carry on with the cabling. So Bianchi, thank you for fitting a bell end hatch. Okay then, good morning, and a rather glorious morning at that, even though it is -2. I think the sunlight will soon burn that off, though it'll warm up a bit later. But yeah, you're probably wondering why I'm saying good morning. It's because I ran out of light the other day. I couldn't finish the bike off, so I've come to another location. Got the bike on the stand ready, and yeah, there's not a lot to do today. We just got to index the gears, finish off the brakes, wrap the bar tape, and that's about it really. We're pretty much complete, so let's crack on, finish the bike off. I don't know if it's just me, but I always find Campagnolo a little bit more tricky to set up than Shimano, but I still rate them. I think it's an absolutely fantastic group set. And yeah, I was having a little bit of trouble with the front derailleur, so I had to put quite a bit of tension on the cable and then use the inline adjuster just to put a bit more tension in, just to get the front derailleur running nicely. And as usual, I was having a little trouble with the cassette at the rear as well, just getting the rear derailleur working perfectly. It was a little bit noisy, but it was pretty much there. But I seem to be one of those people that can actually adjust it better once I'm out on the road. I can go for a little ride and get a feel for exactly what's going on and just make the small adjustments needed. And right now, it's running absolutely beautifully, so that's certainly worth the treat. I think we also need to talk about cost. I did say that I was going to try and bring this in at about £1,500, and well, I did really. It was £1,571 British pounds, so I brought it in on budget pretty much. The bike itself cost me £450 and the rest went on parts. And the way I keep the cost down on a build like this is to get the shifters second hand, because the shifters are really expensive. So I got second hand shifters, and then the rest of the drivetrain was brand new. I also bought a second hand seat post and a second hand stem. The saddle was brand new, so it's a mixture of new and used parts. And I would say that the way of keeping the cost down for me was to buy the shifters second hand, because these are usually very expensive. And that enabled me to buy the rest of the drivetrain brand new. And yeah, for 1500 quid, I think this is an absolutely fantastic bike. It is so nice to ride, and it's incredibly light. I can't believe how light it is when you pick it up. Even compared to my other super bike that I've built up, it still feels really light, and it's only about 700 grams lighter. So yeah, 1500 quid, absolute bargain, I reckon. Right then guys, so the bicycle is finally finished, so I'm just taking a moment to enjoy the view here, but instead maybe I should show you the bicycle, and then after we've had a look we can get her on the scales and tell you how much she weighs. So let's go take a look. Okay then guys, so she's all finished. We now need to get her on the scales of truth. Dun dun dun. Right, let's get her balanced. That feels pretty good. And what have we got there guys? What have we got? 7.44. Bloody hell guys, that's amazing. So when I was putting the bike to build and I'm ordering the parts, I was really hoping I could get this bike under 8 kilos. In my wildest dreams I was actually hoping I could get it down to 7.5 kilos. So wow, 7.44. I'll take that. I'm really happy with that. So all that's left to say then is, if you like this sort of content and you want to see some more bike builds or some rides in beautiful places, then please like and subscribe guys. And if you want to see some bike builds like this immediately, there's a couple of other bike builds on the Bike Builds channel, not the channel, on the Bike Builds playlist on my channel. So please go and watch that guys, and ciao for now. Ciao.